Normally you should be able to see or hear me. Can anyone see me? Yeah, can anyone see or hear me? Why is my flat boy dying? What the fuck is going on with the flat boy? They should be able to eat the fucking fish. What's going on with my flat boy? What the fuck? Is this flat boy like taking like over this one? Or he's like I'm the king. I'm the king of the flat boys, so I dominate you. You know. And also look, all of this is modding, by the way. I mean that's Jurassic World Evolution, but I installed a lot of fucking mods. And I'm trying to fucking, yeah, it's captivity, all of that, but like, you know, I kill people in Skyrim and I don't kill people in real life, you know, like, that's the same fucking shit, okay? Count this as like a fantasy world where non-humans don't suffer from whatever the fuck humans do with captivity and whatnot. It's a fantasy world, okay? So, basically, I want to talk about my experience in anthropology. Because, I don't know if you may know that, but I'm a fucking anthropology student and I'm not fuck. Why are you dying? The piece of pancake shit. Okay. Okay, so always do this. I'm playing sandbox everything. This is, I don't play like campaign modes anymore because it's boring. And also because this game is really fucking flawed. I mean, I love it, but I love it. I prefer GPOG Jurassic Park Operation Genesis from 2003. Damn, there are fucking zoomers that were born when that game came out. What the fuck? Wait, what the fuck, man? Come on. Fucking... I'll have to do it myself. Basically, I could put a bit of music on shit. When I just need to go to... if it's too annoying, I'm just going to... No, it just... Oh, fuck me, man. So basically, for 1 month, I made a field work in that zoo because what I'm studying are not really the apes by themselves, right? It's like the relationship of humans to other apes. Why? Because in my university in Paris, in France, sorry, it's near Paris, it's the biggest one in France. We have a weird filière where basically it's called anthropology, ethology, philosophy, okay? It's like a Huawei. Yeah, it's like the three fucking dogs from the Picsou lore, you know, from like, you know, Scrooge McDuck, the capitalist dog. He has like three nephews, and Donald as well has three nephews. Okay, so that basically those three nephews are fucking anthropology, ethology, and philosophy. Okay, and that's totally in my chords. That's in my alleys. Okay, because basically everything I do is about animal behavior and the way humans treat animal and understand animal behavior from an epistemological point of view. Okay, what the fuck is going on? Like, why can't I? Okay, so the flat boy is there, and now I have to hit the flat boy. I would love to put some Mr. Wazoo right now, but the problem is that Mr. Wazoo is fucking copyrighted, so if I put it, I'm going to get banned in 27 countries. That's why I can put like Hurling or Vexento or fucking one of those mofos. Okay, so the fucking flat boy is fucking dying like a piece of shit. Come on. Also, like, yeah, they're grunting like dinosaurs because unfortunately, modding has limitations. So they modeled those animals, which are not dinosaurs, they're from the Permian, on actual dinosaurs from the base vanilla game. So modding has limitation. My hope is that the new Jurassic World is not. Oh, fuck, where is the fucking flat boy? Okay. Okay, this is fuck. I need to put an issue. Okay. Um. Oh no, he died. I thought they couldn't die. Oh well, you know what? That's natural selection. Fuck you, you fucking stupid piece of shit. Okay. So yeah, this is he probably got stuck in the on the props because basically I have a mode that disallows hitboxes for props on buildings and shit. So the game wasn't like prepared for that. So yeah. But normally dinosaurs shouldn't die, but whatever. Okay, so I need to remake that fucking enclosure. Yeah, I know they're in an enclosure, yeah, okay? I kill people in Skyrim, that's the fucking same, okay? So, okay, yeah, the zoo. So basically, I made 1 month of field work in a zoo in Paris. We have 2 zoos in Paris, which are extremely fucking old, okay? There's one from the 30s, 20s, which is in Vincennes, and one that is 2 centuries old. It's one of the oldest one in the world, by the way, which is called La Ménagerie du Jardin des Plantes. So here you have an extremely fucking small area. I'll show you later, which is made in a historic area where you have different species of monkeys on one species of apes, which will be orangutans. And yeah, the area is very fucking small on everything, but most importantly, you need, okay. So in that channel, I talk a lot about Michel Foucault, not just because I'm a French queer person, so obviously I talk about Mr. Bald person, but most importantly because, oh my god, what the fuck? What did I do? Oh, okay. This is why we need better terrain tools, okay? Okay, so, oh, fuck. Well, that was natural selection at work, okay? I fucking hate that. This is one of the problems of Jurassic World Evolution. It has really weird terrain leveling stuff that makes it extremely fucking weird and uncanny. It makes no fucking sense, especially in the water placement. You have that weird fucking crater here. I fucking hate the ambient sound as well. I'm very sorry about this. The ambient sound in the game is dog shit, but whatever. Oh fuck, why is there a fucking crater here? I'm sorry, okay, I'm autistic. This is for me is a pet peeve, okay? There is a fucking crater. What the fuck? That means there's a prop here, but... So, yeah, the flat boy is free, okay. So, this is not normal, okay? It shouldn't be here. So, what I'm going to do... I'm really sorry to interrupt the PSA, just... yeah, it may be because of the feeder. So I'm going to delete the feeders, probably that. Yeah, it's the feeder. What the fuck? Okay. Shit. Okay. So basically, if you read Foucault, you read the notion not only of institutionalization and control and surveillance and everything, but you probably read about the panopticon. So what the fuck is the panopticon, okay? So, Oh fuck! I want to vomit so hard. I'm sorry. This is because of the medication I take. So I take medication against depression. It makes me vomit. Whatever. Who cares? So the panopticon is basically a model prison that was invented by some bloke back in, I don't know, 1840. On the principle, okay, let me show you. So the principle is that the fucking prison, okay, is like a fucking. This is not well done, okay. Well, let me make a fucking. This is the superior version of the pastry, okay. You know, Vosh is a little girl. I am the Bichika child that makes pastry in video games. Okay, so this is the panopticon. Okay, so you have like the wall. Imagine it's like walls. Okay, it's like walls with rows of prisoners in the walls. So you have a central tube. How do I make? Okay, so this is the panopticon. Okay, this is the panopticon. Okay, the aviary. So you have the walls and you have a central tube. Okay, so the central tube is where the fucking guardians are at. You have one guardian, and the guardian can see everything. Okay, he can hear everything. Okay, he's like the admin. Okay, he's like Chadmin. Okay, so he sees everyone, and you even can have a panopticon with tubes that allow you to hear everyone. Okay, someone like coughs, masturbates, you can see everything. You're omnipotent or you're omniscient. By definition, like more omniscient than omnipotent, okay? And the problem with that prison is that people got mad. They drove them crazy. So some of those prisons still exist, not really in a functional way, more like as historical pieces, I think mostly in England, France. And the thing is, those prisons are useful to as a model, right? To understand how discipline and surveillance were created by the end of the 18th century toward the 19th century, which still impacts the way we work today. Okay, so that's the aviary, okay? So imagine there's a big fucking tube, or you can see all the fucking pterodactyls, okay? That's basically it. So the thing with that fucking place is that it looks a lot like a fucking panopticon. Okay, so let me just, okay, so you have two areas where the orangutan are at. You have an internal area where they mostly sleep and shit, and you have an external area. This external area is covered by a kind of roof, but like, you know, the rain can come in and shit. Again, it's extremely fucking small. And the thing is, both caretakers and visitors can see everything. They can see everything. There is no escape. If you're the whole area was thought in a way that if you're a visitor, you can hang out here for 4 or 5 hours, take a coffee, be shielded from, you know, like rain, snow, whatever the fuck. Okay, you can sit here, and that's the whole logic. And the distance between orangutans and humans is extremely thin, paper thin, in fact, because you just have like a you have like a window, right? A glass window. So you can nearly touch them, you can nearly kiss them, you can nearly look at them in the eye. So there is like an intimate relationship of the visitors with the orangutans, of the caretakers with the orangutans. And if you look at their interaction, it's like 5 times a day, they give them food. And it's like extremely intimate relationships. Everything is a logic of control, but it's also a logic of care, right? So they talk to them, but they also look at every part of their body. They have to show through an intensive medical training each part of their body. They touched their hand, etc. But like it's this equilibrium between care and surveillance, right? So I'm not saying like, oh, it's like the tool like torture by the care. No, there's also love from the caretaker, but it's still a form of surveillance, right? So this is extremely fucking interesting to study. Extremely fucking interesting. And if you like, what interested me mostly is like, you have like zoos, mostly sanctuaries in the United States, for chimps, which don't have the same ethology in orangutans, because orangutans are mostly they're solitary or very chill, and chimps live in huge troops and they're very aggressive and shit. So the dynamics are not exactly the same. And if you go to the chimp sanctuaries, I'll make a stream about that because that's important, because the activists tend to obfuscate that data, and there starts to be like a contestation of the way chimp sanctuaries function. Is really fucking, it's very minute, but it's starting to grow. And the thing is, I know people will yell, I don't care, I have the data, I know I'm right. Those institutions work exactly like mental asylums, okay? You have hundreds of chimps in an outside area. At some point in the schedule, you have to force those chimps in the inside areas, which are divided with little compartments, etc., depending on the relation of the different conflicts between them. And there is a certain degree of violence and punishment, the use of like water cannons and shit. It's not like it, yeah, I know, and it looks like the movie like the Planet of the Apes movie from 2011 or 2014, I don't remember, but it's quite, it's not unlike reality. And this is something you can look in documentaries and shit. This is it's an open secret, right? So I wanted, in order to understand those large scales sanctuaries, I needed a model. So I wanted to start with a smaller scale. And my work allowed me to realize that there are some structural differences between the large scale and a small scale, close by institutional-like systems, right? But also there are differences between more open zoos, where orangutans are like, that is more or less the same population. Here there are 5 of them, and you have other zoos where there are like 5 or 10 orangutans, and they live in more open area with trees and shit on their lap, because there are no trees in there, the whole thing with grass and like it's bigger and shit. But the relationship with the trainers on the visitors and employees is more distant. So for instance, when the caretakers come, they don't give them the food proximally, they throw the food at them, right? So the relations are more distantiated. It's like something else. This is extremely fucking interesting. So I made that field work, and what I did is at first, I don't know if I should talk about all of this, but I'll should, whatever. I mean, who cares? Nobody. My child is extremely small. Who cares? I integrated myself through the methods of like what we call participant observation, right? Like Malinowski and shit. In a group of like, yeah, they're genetically engineered to be happy little cage dinos. Yeah, that's exactly it. Well, I mean, they're not really dinos. They're like what we call not temnospondyls. Fuck. So basically, the Diplocolus is very primitive form of amphibian that existed during the Carboniferous and early Permian. Lemnospondyls, I believe. They got extinct mostly by the beginning of the Permian, because basically what happened is that during the Carboniferous, you had those, there was like a global rainforest everywhere, okay, covering the whole fucking continent, okay? At some point, for some reason, I don't remember if it was volcanic activity or the beginning of the breaking up of the tectonic plates or something, the climate shifted from that to a desert, okay? So there was a big fucking collapse of the Carboniferous rainforest. Most of our coal today come from that, okay? So most of the amphibians and shit, which cannot live in dry environments, disappeared. But the first proto-reptiles survived because they had not only they had a thick skin that some amphibians had, by the way, but they were amniotes, which means that they had yolk in the egg, okay? If you have yolk in the egg, you don't depend on water, an external source of water, to not dry up, because the external source of water is inside of the fucking egg, you know? So that's why fucking reptiles dominated after by the Permian, after the Carboniferous collapse, on those motherfuckers here, the boomerang flatboy motherfuckers, died out. That's basically it, okay? I wish we had more lemnospondyls in the game, but unfortunately, whatever. We need, there's one guy, I really love his work. He's called Putito, which means literally little male whore in Spanish. And he made most of the non-dinosaur. He made the Pterogytus, he made the Diplodocus and everything. I really love that guy. I don't know if he's like, maybe he doesn't identify as a guy, but like they made like all of the non-dinosaur mods, and yeah, I don't know, most of them at least. And that's really fucking neat. So, oh yeah, he's called Potato. Yeah. So, Mayamate kudasai. Okay, so racism. Okay, so, uh, fuck me. I can't. Whatever. I'll put the other flat boy. So, I was talking. Yeah, the fucking zoo. So, as a result, first of all, I need to make a bunch of interviews of the trainers. I made one interview. I'm extremely fucking anxious because tomorrow I have another interview. And I missed one of them by mistake. I feel like shit because of that. It's not really important because I have most of the data. I just need to confirm some side data. Very technical shit about like the kind of food, the regularity of it, whatever. It's really fucking technical shit. It's not really important. But uh I'm anxious about this because basically what happened is that okay, so I at the zoo I met a bunch of like habitué, like people that go there, mostly boomers, that are retired boomers. Most of them are really cool. One of them is an artist. I had a really good relationship with. I confidently consider her as a friend. There was like a photograph, some other photographers, sorry, there's a bunch of photo people. And there was one person, I'm not going into details, like, who cares? And this person hate my guts. And she, I won't go, no, sorry, they're not non-binary, but I won't go into details because I don't want to give up anything about their identity. This person is known to be a piece of shit, basically, that is notorious for attacking visitors and some part of the staff. This person violently attacked me. Violently, not physically, but could have been. I know that she had, or she, whatever, attacked physically other people at the facility. And this person gave me nightmares. Because I know that if I cross this person, they will do everything to like prevent me to do my field work. They talked to people at the zoo to like badmouth me on ruin my reputation, basically. And they succeeded in ruining my reputation in some of the people there. And she's a piece of turd. And the thing is, I can't do anything because she's a member of like a kind of like charity or something from the zoo, where they basically pay to be like to give money for the protection of the apes, or to give money for the care of the apes or whatever. So basically, they can go whenever they want. At the zoo is 10 years, and they talk all the fucking time to the probably most of the caretakers and employees are fed up with her. But basically, she made her own little field of power in the zoo. So basically, she fucking won. The director basically told me that don't do any field work, don't do any participant observation because it's a service. Just shut the fuck on and observe. And that's retarded, and I disagree with that, but I have to obey because I'm just a little M1 student, and he's the big boss, and I cannot contest what the big boss does. So, and also I don't like to contest people. And the thing is, okay, so I want to talk about autism, okay? So, yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm in this fucking spectrum. Anyone that, bears with me for 5 minutes, know that. The thing with me is that, okay, so, first of all, okay, so how to put it? being in the spectrum doesn't mean necessarily that you don't know how to interpret emotions, okay? Okay, so there's a fucking spectrum. Again, I'm not into the, I cannot recognize facial expression degree of like the spectrum. I'm not into this. But let's say that, okay, so sometimes people give you implicit fucking signals, okay? The problem with those fucking signals is that it's not that you don't know how to interpret them, okay? Sorry, okay? So it's not that you don't know how to interpret them. It's that, okay, you fucking see a signal, you interpret it in a certain way, but you're unsure if you should interpret it that way, because if you interpret it in a certain way and react accordingly, it could create an extremely tense or awkward situation. Typically with seduction, typically with certain jokes that you don't know if you to take seriously or not, okay? That kind of stuff. This is extremely fucking awkward. So the base position is to believe everything someone tell you and to basically do what feminists describe as the mental, la charge mentale, the mental, I think in English you talk about mental charge, okay? Wait, I put some, I tried, well, I made it. Sorry, it just, I think I'll put some, yep. Yeah, the light is really dog shit. I need professional streamer light, like fucking, like all of the hype leftoids online. Okay, if I ever want to debate some rondo online, whatever. So this happens more than you think, and mental charge is something that is of like primarily it was, as far as I remember, described by feminists. But I'm pretty sure that something like this exists with autistic people, especially with like women, because women with autism, because of the way women are socialized, are less easy to like diagnose because they more easily mimic and integrate themselves into how like society expect them to function, like how to smile and shit. And I know that by personal experience because of like I have several friends which are in the spectrum, and I see that and they tell me that and shit. And when you're, even if you're a male or non-binary, whatever the fuck, you also tend to integrate very like early on that you need to fucking, you know, be the most gentle, nice, diplomatic possible, that you need to smile like my mother all the fucking time. She tells me, you need to fucking smile, okay? When you see people, please smile the most possible. Look at them in the fucking eyes. Don't make monologues for 2 hours where you talk about your fucking obsessions. She doesn't tell me like that. Obviously, she doesn't use the F word or a Spanish equivalent of this, I guess. But this is something I integrated, right? But that means that when I'm like on the field, like at the fucking zoo, what I do is basically listen to the other, look if I'm not overbearing them, if I'm not talking too much, talking about the stuff I like, online, like my gesture is very like, you know, Gandhi's Civilization 5. I know it's a weird analogy, but you know, like hello, like this, like fucking meek, like oh yes, smiling a lot, like laughing in order to diffuse the situation, cracking small jokes, being avoiding using specific words, especially because I'm with fucking boomers and shit, or not people from my generation. So I have to do this all the fucking time, okay? All the fucking time. After 1 month, the mental charge is there because friendly reminder, I have to do this for 6 hours straight, which this is not natural for me, okay? I don't go to people and talk to them for 2 hours about a given thing because I know that if I do this, shit hits the fan, okay? I force myself to be like hearing what people have to say, even if I don't like this. I'm not saying that people here are like idiots or like, no, 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 at all. Like, okay, sometimes they tell me shit I'm not interested in, but for me, it's important to listen to what people have to say and respond to the narrative. Actually, I think it's a good thing to hear people talk because even if they rant, sometimes ranting is therapeutic. And I know that a lot of people, especially boomers that are very isolated socially, it's a good thing for them to talk. So if an old person talk to me for 2 hours straight about some stupid shit, I'm sorry, I listen to them because I know that they need that. You know, especially when they have a family that doesn't listen to them. Because for me, it's important to do that. So I do it. I don't care if the person is half senile, I do this. Okay? So I have this mental charge. Okay? Which is, I mean, with old people, it's cool because they're nice old people, so it's fine. You know? And the thing is, so you accumulate this for 1 month, knowing, okay, that I never talk about my opinions about captivity or whatever here. Never. No one knows that I was an activist back in 2013 and shit. I am the most neutral fucking agent. I am extremely careful with every fucking word I use, the terms I use, the reference I use. I restrict myself in every fucking shit I do. Okay? This shit is like, this is, you need to be here in order to understand the work I do. Okay? To like wallow among normies, which aren't really normies, but whatever. I go over this because I want to talk about normies and shit. On not inceldom, but like the way internet cultures talk about it, whatever. So, so having someone, without me realizing this, attacking me violently and imponing me for asking too much questions, this is violent. This is violent. On saying that, oh, I bother everyone. Well, I know it's not true. Like I see, I'm autistic because, but I understand like human behavior. I'm not an idiot. I know how to, especially because I have autism. I am obsessively trying to study how humans work. So I adopted a pretty good understanding of human behavior precisely because I don't necessarily have all of the fucking hardware because about that, you know. You know, and I think it's a lot. Again, I really want you to understand autism is not necessarily uh, uh, this fucking, you know, like in the stupid book, the accident of the fucking dog. You know which one I'm talking about. The one by your fucking, wait. By Mark Haddon, I think he's called. Yeah, this guy. Let me show you for 1 second. Okay, this retard. I show you. I don't care. I can use retarded, because I'm, you know, this fucking. Okay, this fucking book. Okay, this one. Okay, or that fucking movie. I fucking loathe. I absolutely fucking hate that depiction of Asperger. I'm not even talking about atypical because I haven't watched this, but everyone told me that atypical is that this depiction of autistic people as being male incels, whatever. Which one is the stupid one? Fucking hate that movie. I fucking loathe that fucking depiction of autistic people. It's fucking retarded. This is why the fucking Karens want to exterminate us through eugenics. Fuck this shit. On the other one I fucking hate is My Name is Khan, but My Name is Khan is like the Bollywood version of Adam, but it's very politically correct, but it may be explained by, I suspect that they talk about Islamophobia in the US as a diverted way to talk about Islamophobia in India, especially because of the main actor, which is himself. Wait, who's My Name is Khan is made by Sati Khan or Irman Khan? I have a doubt. Wait, because I'm sorry, just I don't want to. Okay. No, Shahrukh Khan. Okay, it's neither Sadiq Khan or Imran Khan. What a fucking idiot. No, Sadiq Khan is the fucking mayor of London. What a fucking idiot. Yonifar Khan is the one that died, right? Yeah, he died. He was the guy that played in Life of Pi on Jurassic World. I love that actor. He was really cool. And Shah Rukh Khan is the guy that is like in all the fucking big Bollywood movies and shit. Okay, so basically, those two fucking movies, okay? Okay, this one, and especially this one, I fucking hate it, okay? Especially this one. This is one of the most, this kind of paternalistic psychophobia, I fucking hate it. It's fucking, yeah, you know, like, oh my god. For like, let me, no, you know what, fuck that shit. I'm going to show you the trailer. I'm going to make you understand why I fucking hate that. I'm sorry, I'm going to divert. I don't care, okay? Okay, I want you to understand why this fucking movie sucks, okay? Okay. Wait a minute, okay? Just should have prepared that. I bought I need to buy a fidget to connect basically the two HDMI cables to the graphic card. So basically I can dual monitor with the two fucking monitors, whatever. Oh, there's a thing with Xanderhole. Xanderhole is streaming, whatever. Let me just mute Jurassic fucking World. Yeah, no, I'm talking about the fucking autism stuff. Talking about the fucking apes, okay? Oh, well, who cares? No. Shit. I'm sorry. 2 fucking sec. Okay. Oh shit, I may have a copyright or whatever. Who cares? Ah, no, wait. Because I'm afraid there may be some kind of copyrighted music that could. Yeah, but those spots or whatever.
Voyager 2 will pass within 4.3 light years of Sirius, the dog star, in approximately 196,000 years.
Adam,
If I talk like this, I know I can have obsessions, but please, if I talk like this, put a fucking bullet in my brain, okay? This.
I'm having lunch. Speak English.
I'm sorry, see, the Star Tracker system is
No. Lunchtime is for God talk.
Okay, that scene was cute in the fucking movie, but like.
A woman moved into 3A.
All right. Now that's lunch talk.
From Fox Searchlight Pictures.
Oh fuck. Okay, so. Okay, let me divert again on. Let's talk about the fucking Manic Pixie Dream Girl, okay? So, the Manic Pixie Dream Girl is the most fucking misogynistic cliche that was like shot by Hollywood in the last 20 years. For me, like, the movie I hate the most with the the Manic Pixie Dream Girl is fucking I hate that movie with my fucking guts. This movie made me an incel, okay? I'm joking. I'm not a really a fucking incel, but that movie fed into my insecurities about sex and relationship for a long time, for a fucking time when I was a teenager. So, have you watched that a stupid movie called with Tom Hanks called the extraordinary Incroyable Destin d'Harold Creek. Fuck. The Incredible Life of Harold Creek. The one with the fucking guy that has the narrator talking in his head on everything. On this with the main actress that looks like she looks like a fucking monkey. The one that played the fucking okay, no, she's lovely, but like, you know, she has a very characteristic face. And she plays the girlfriend of Batman in the one with Heath Ledger playing the Joker, okay? And she gets killed by Heath Ledger. This one, okay? So that fucking movie has like the Manic Pixie Dream Girl cliche, where basically it's like a guy that has like a broom up his ass, okay? And the idea is that he goes toward a quirky woman that opens up, etc. And then through her relationship or sex with the quirky woman, there is like a process of redemption of the weed man. Okay, I fucking hate the cliche. This shit made inceldom like was born from fucking Manic Pixie Dream Girl. Like, I'm sorry, this is my hot take, okay? I don't even use Twitter, but if I had to put a hot take in Twitter, that would be the one.
Adam. Comes a story about two strangers.
Can you see the sky from the 3rd floor?
Yes, I would if the windows weren't covered.
That's obviously like all of the when you have like movies with fucking people like that have autism and whatnot, they're always good looking. They don't look like fucking Chris Chan, obviously, my god.
But
One a little stranger than the other.
Adam? What?
You said you couldn't see out of your windows.
I know it's a fucking movie, but still.
Adam, you might want to give the young lady a call instead of just dropping by.
I have something.
I fucking hate also the stupid mid-2000 fucking music from this fucking, you know, this fucking stupid Starbuck, you know, mid to late 2000 Starbuck iPod aesthetic. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? With the fucking bars with the fucking brick wall. You know, like this proto-hipster aesthetic, whatever. Like, yes.
Come in, come in.
I really hope I won't be because of the stupid music. I fucking hate the music.
Sexually, because I was.
Thank you. I should be going now.
Because I said that thing about being sexually excited.
No.
Please, end me fucking Roblox, okay?
Yeah.
I have this thing that's called Asperger's syndrome. Albert Einstein,
Sorry.
Thomas Jefferson.
No, that's not true. We don't know that. I hate. Okay, so there's a trope. Some people, the fucking community do is like, they see people that could be superficially ascribed to neurodivergency, and they like recuperate it. Oh yeah, they obviously have to be. We don't know that. We don't know that. No. Thomas Jefferson, I have no idea. Yeah, he owned slaves. I don't know about neurodivergency here, but like Einstein probably was somewhere. But like, I mean, we don't know about them being the autistic spectrum. This is this is like, I know maybe it's not the best equivalency, because I was going to say that there is maybe a tendency to do that when it comes to queerness and transhood or not with some historical figures. But I may argue that in that case it's a bit more justified, because you have like cases, for instance, this is a famous case with a non-binary person in the early 19th century that the preacher moved, whatever, I won't go for.
They had Asperger's?
Probably.
Yeah, that's, yeah, okay, he made the joke for me, so yeah, so it's cool.
You gotta meet the baby. Would you like to see the video?
No, thank you.
About Adam.
Do people do really, I never met, whatever.
It's impossible.
It's not rocket science.
Do you know what you
Yeah, also one of the things I fucking hate is like Adam is alone, okay, and he's like somehow completely disconnected from his family and whatnot, but he has like a big fucking apartment that costs him like, because basically I think he's kind of like an inventor, or he designed fucking shoes or whatever. He gets fired from his job for no fucking reason, whatever. It's fucking retarded, stupid retarded movie.
really sweet and interesting.
Again, like I fucking hate the fact that like this idea of like the redemption of the autistic person, or the person with some kind of in the spectrum neurodivergency, through the manic pixie dream girl. It's fucking, I fucking hate that cliche, but so fucking much. First of all, why not women going through this with men? Why not women going through this with women? We're not a gay relationship, okay? We're not fucking not having this through the lens of relationship, but through the lens of like work on integration in an over a group. Or like, you know, Rain Man did it better, because in Rain Man it was the brother-brother relationship, like whatever, who cares? Whatever, no, I'm not going to order. Like, it fucking triggers me. I fucking hate that movie. This movie is fucking triggering as fuck. This movie is even worse, like extremely fucking politically correct, and like it has like this naive, like, you know how people fight Islamophobia, but they do it in this extremely politically correct way, where it's basically in order to counteract this kind of monolithic view of Muslims as bloodthirsty people that want to like kill all the fucking Westerners or whatever. You have to use that this notion of an extremely angelic view of Muslims, or at least of some Muslims, like or Muslim or some other minority, but it tends to be Muslim, whatever. It's like this extremely politically correctness view that it was more prevalent in the mid to late 2000, I believe. Oh, hi, Lauren. So, no, nothing. That fucking... I'm really sorry, I don't really look at chat, so this is why. And, no, so basically what... Oh, fuck, why I was talking about autism. Yeah, so basically I'm anxious about tomorrow because I'm very fucking fearful of crossing the crazy lady. So what I will do is I invited a friend of mine to like work as a bodyguard. So if I cross the lady, my friend is 2 meters tall and he's strong. And I mean, obviously we won't like physically assault her or whatever. But basically the point is that we kind of intimidate her so she doesn't. You know, I was so fucking like upset about this that I was tempted to like boy, you know what, woman on trans people, boy, you know, bird sprays. We don't have birds in France, but you know what, pepper spray. So if there's a guy that harasses you in the fucking street, you can be like, psh, you know, and I'm tempted to like boy this, so this fucking lady doesn't attack me. And if she tries to like harass me in a way or another, I can use the bird spray against her. But whatever. I'm sorry, I know my anxiety is kind of not very justified. Like, I know for a fact that it's kind of a product of, like, my own neurosis. But, like, at the same time, like, fuck me, man. Like, I cannot believe that there are people that are, like, hell-bent into making the life of other people worst, you know? Like, I've seen that a lot in, like, online groups. But in IRL groups, like, I knew it existed in like mainstream leftoid politics, right? But like, come on, man, this is like, whoa, like, what the fuck, man? And this person is like, she wallows in conflict. I don't know if she gets a kick of that, if it's sexual or whatever. I'm not in her mind, but it's fucking, it's extremely fucking sad. And the other thing I want to say about normies, right? Because, I mean, the notion of normie obviously is like a very relative one, obviously. We're always the normie of another. I'm half joking when I use the notion of normie, right? But the thing with like people that are not really in the neurodivergency spectrum and that seems to be more integrated in a broader society, right? Is that most of those people are not happy. They're sad. They feel like shit. They suffer. They have their own range of like neurosis. They also suffer for many reasons. And it's not easy for them as well. And I hope this mofo is on. He may be, they may be, you know, that should be alright. So the thing is, most normies, like, they're like us, they suffer from a lot of fucking shit. You know, they suffer from health problem. They suffer from, they struggle with mental health. I dare say they even sometimes struggle more with mental health. Because unlike a lot of people that have like mental health issues, including like big fucking mental health issues like being bipolar, schizophrenic, blah blah, they're not used to talk about these things. So when they happen, they're at loss because they don't have the key notions to talk about this. Like, my point is basically that I want to be in like a empathic, compassionate phase where, like, you know, like the meme of like the angel Pee the frog that goes toward the guy like raging on the floor. Like, that's basically how I feel, you know? Like, I want to go to the fucking normies and being like, you know what? I want to help you, okay? I want to give you the tools to better understand mental health, mental care, self-care, you know? Like, how to deal with, like, disability and shit, or rejection by the broader society, because, you know what? You're valid, okay? You're valid. You know, even if you listen to Green Day while making a reverse cougar in the dark with your a very cis-het wife, and then your biggest pleasure in life is basically going in the football game on seeing some home run by some blonde person, I love on value you, okay? We can't all be very original people, like, and also, even if you're cis or heterosexual, you're cute or valid, okay? No, but half joking, but like, no, basically, I'm extremely fucking anxious because of that fucking thing with the zoo. Only it's retarded because this kind of stuff happens all the fucking time in field work. If you do like what we call participant observation, we're always going to have like some fucking piece of shit that is going to try to undermine your integration, right? And that's the other thing I wanted to talk. So I don't know if you were here because we streamed that in the group a while ago. But there's an excellent documentary from like a decade ago. It's a bit old today, about stress in modern societies. And you have some guy, which is a sommelier, a really known guy in that field, which works with baboons. And what he did is, in order to understand stress in humans, he went and studied a troops of baboons in some remote place in Africa. So he would capture for anesthesia the baboon and take out blood samples from each baboon in the troop and look at the differences between the baboons that were on top, that were the dominant males, and the one that were on the bottoms, that were like the betas, the beta cocks, like the virgin from the troop, like that were more victims of violence in the troop, that were belied all the time by the giga chad baboons that got access to all of the fucking females and shit. And what he realized is that the giga chad baboons, okay, that were more violent and shit, had 6 times less stress than the fucking beta cock baboons, okay? And the beta cock's baboon died sooner stress level. And one day, there was a drama, okay? What happened is that because the baboons are next to a local village, I believe it's in Kenya. I don't remember if it was a drought or something. The well got poisoned. For some reason, I don't remember exactly why. Maybe because they have like better access to water, because of their dominant position or something. All of the dominant males in the troop died. They just died. And the guy that made the study was really like, he felt like shit. He was depressed for a time. He really felt bad about this because, like 10 years of like work, like got into like went into dust, really depressing moments. And then something extraordinary happened. The baboons reformed. They changed the society. They thrived even. Why? Because all of the fucking baboons that were left, they were the beta cocks one, on the females. And instead of reforming as the violent patriarchal giga reformed as a more gentle matriarchal one, where females will take the decision, okay, and where the social organization will be different. I think there was a difference of how the males left and how they went, the new males, how the new males that integrated themselves in the group interacted with the females and whatnot. And not only that, okay, but when new males enter the group, if they started to act like bullies, there was a strong politics of like rejecting them or correcting them so they wouldn't act like bullies. So for the next 10, 15, 20 years, the dynamic of the groups became a more gentle matriarchal one. And when they looked at the stress levels of the apes, the stress levels were way lower. They were 6 times lower, like, like the Giga Chat ones that died from before. And that was a big fucking revelation. Because in no modern civilization, industrial societies, the level of stress of people is way higher than we were before, you know? Not only that, but the stress level of bosses, of people above in the social ladder, is like way lower than the employees that work at the bottom. I think there's a whole thing now with the 4 days of work in Iceland that is based kind of in that work, but I'm not sure. So whatever, the point being that this was a big revelation on how stress was not like just a side thing in our society, but a determinant factor of how society works. You know, there's like those people that believe that Rome fell in part because of lead poisoning. I think our fucking city will fall because of fucking stress poisoning, my dude. Like everything it does to the earth, to the brain, like that documentary talked about the effect it had on neural degeneracy when you start to hit the 40s, 50s on Alzheimer and shit. It's like fucking shocking, man. And I know that because I'm someone that deals with stress a lot. That's why I take Xanax. Not recreationally, mind you, I have to take Xanax. And I don't like taking Xanax. This is not something I like. I absolutely dislike Xanax because it makes me sleep, and I don't like to sleep excessively because I have to work on shit. So I don't take recreationally. I don't have any addiction to Xanax, fortunately, but whatever. So yeah, so that I was talking about the fucking monkeys. I was making a point. I forgot which one. Fuck me. I was talking about fucking stress. That was important. Oh yeah, because I was talking about the group dynamics. So the fact that we can, this is something that with Andrew, my Russian friend, that is also on the voice posting group. The fact that we can, we have like a pet subject, which is how do we change society or individuals? So the dynamics allow for become in such a way that group dynamics allow for people to become less of assholes, on belying or dominant dynamics die by themselves or actively discouraged to exist. This is extremely fucking important. Why? In all of the fucking leftoid groups I went in, you have those power dynamics, including anarchist one, including feminist one. No, in order to understand that, you need to look at that fucking, thingy, which is extremely fucking important. Okay? There is one, TERF, non-binary, blah, blah, second wave feminist. Okay. There is one second wave feminist I love. She's called Jolene Freeman. Okay? Is this Jolene Freeman? No, it's Joe Freeman, but is this short for Jolene? Joreen Freeman, okay. Joe Freeman made one fucking text. She made 2 texts that are so important, but there's one in particular, which is called The Tyranny of Structurelessness. On this text, this is extremely fucking important, If you want to be a base leftoid, you need to read that fucking text, You need to read that fucking text. Because if you understand the text, you understand everything which is wrong with her activism, That text, this one, was written in the 70s about feminism. In every fucking group I got in, you have what she describes. Basically, even in groups that tell themselves as being, having no internal, external, explicit hierarchy, like anarchist groups, you have internal implicit hierarchy. So the point is, it's better to explicit hierarchy and to discuss it and to say, well, the structures exist and we have to deal with them, rather than denying the existence of those structures. And I've seen that shit in anarchist group when I was a baby anarchist, on a baby leftoid, way back in 2016 in France. Okay, and I've seen this shit in anarchist group in real or like online in France. I've seen this shit in more international groups. I've seen that thing in Discord groups where it tends to turn into a fucking sex cult and shit, which is a big fucking problem, by the way. I've seen that every fucking where, okay? And the worst of it, okay, is that you don't just have that in fucking anarchist groups. You have that shit as well in fucking even groups that aren't politicized. Okay, that's the catch. Okay, I've seen that shit in like dinosaur-related groups, groups about biology. I've seen people go through the truth about the classification of a species of fly. I'm not even fucking joking. There are people that get mad at dog spotting groups or like groups about how to bake a fucking cake, my dudes. Not even for political reasons. So imagine what there's like political stuff in it. Okay? And this is because of how the way group dynamics work. And what I like with watch posting is that we managed to create a group where those power dynamics allowed to, were able, because of the way we managed or monitored it, to disentangle themselves. Because people themselves stop themselves and say, you know what, I'm not going to go into that direction. Let's be chill and talk about something else, or let's talk about this in another time. Or, you know what, I apologize. I talked in a certain way. I should have used another tone. I'll try to be more charitable next time, etc. And that's fucking great. The group isn't perfect. Obviously, there are issues, but like the fact that we're able to create this is an extremely fucking important dynamic in a left-wing group. And obviously, we're not perfect because it was the whole fucking drama of the admin and shit. I won't go into details, but like, yeah. So, wait, I want to put something else in the. So yeah, basically it. And unfortunately, so what's the thing? I want to be able to create groups with those shitty dynamics where you have one person that goes in, parasites it, and basically undermine every effort made by especially people that are neurodivergent and shit. We put the extra mile to try to integrate are made, where those kinds of asshole, when they enter, the internal dynamic of the group disallow for them to like stick. Basically, like when there's like a virus that enters, but because you don't have the receptor for the virus can't infect the cell. That's basically it. I want to be able to create a dynamic where pieces of shit like that can't enter, or where people that are in need can be protected efficiently. You know, because otherwise, because the thing is not that much that the group is evil, is that society as a whole allows for groups like that to have those dynamics. There is like an active pressure for groups to work in a certain way. I know this seems extremely abstract for now, but I promise you it is not. It's extremely fucking important. I wish I could give you better instances of this because I've seen this. I know, I'm sure that your own life experience have shown that, by the way. But whatever, I'm tempted to talk about the apes themselves because there's a lot of interesting shit. I may try to show you some vids of like the apes making art, because one of them, for instance, they give them crayons, comestible crayons, or they make art, basically, and it's extremely fucking interesting. And they don't make like drawings, like figurative drawings, but you see that they have an intention in what they do. For instance, when they want to do something, they take that color, not that color, and they want to make a trait. They do that trait, and you see that they apply themselves slowly. When they can't do this thing for a reason or another, they will try to find a way to do it. It's like extremely fucking important. And this is extremely interesting from an ethological point of view, from the point of view of the evolution of man. But the thing is, I would love to talk about this, but for now, I'd rather talk about human behavior on collective groups and shit. Because if I want, the thing with the zoo is that there is an all-out war between activists and the zoo today. Okay, this is important. So there's like, oh, I'm so fucking tired. I want to talk about this another time, but basically, there's an article that went out in one of our biggest newspapers about the oldest orangutan, which is like lives in the fucking zoo. And I arrived in the middle of that war between the zoo and the activists. And there's a lot of political shit behind, and I would love to talk about this, but I'd rather talk about this in stream specifically about activist praxis. Because also they pro sanctuary and shit, obviously I dislike that for a stream of reasons. But with apes, there are, I won't say more justifiable reasons for that, but there are problems that when I talk about cetaceans that really apply when it comes to apes, and that need it's very complex, and I'd rather talk about this in another stream. So what I'll do is I'll make another stream when I talk about activist praxis, and I'll show you some stuff about the apes, but I won't do this immediately. So yeah, basically, for me, the problem of human relation is extremely fucking important. And I want to be able to have an activism where assholes that try to control everything and that just fucking, you know, attack especially vulnerable people. Like, I won't say like me, but like, yeah, like me, when it comes to the field of interpreting. Also, what I dislike is that I told her I have Asperger's syndromes. Sometimes it's hard for me to interpret human emotions. And she basically just didn't listen to me. And whatever, it's like, who the fuck cares at this point, right? It's a piece of shit, it's a piece of shit. That fucking triggers the fuck out of me when people like me have to put the extra mile to like, whatever. And I don't know, I want to do like the meme with the deformed Pepe on the meme with the lady, the lady Asperger, you know, which is the girlfriend of the Pepe, of the Pepe, the frog, and I want to put the little caption like, I have autism, please be patient, but you know, I don't ever need that. I won't lie, I'm not at that degree of the spectrum, because most of my interaction with people are very positive, and people react positively to who I work, and they love me. It's not just that they hear me talk, it's that I listen to people. I'm extremely fucking patient with people. People go into like 2 hours rant about shit I don't give a fuck, and I hear them and listen to them because I think it's important. It's like it's not as if in the end of the day I'm like, oh, fucking pieces of shit, fucking normies. I don't want to hear them talk about their problems. Is that I'm glad I listen to them, because I think it's an objectively good thing to care about people, you know. So yeah, whatever. Yeah, whatever. I wanted to rant because that fucking piece of shit. That was like more than 2 weeks ago, but it made me extremely fucking upset. Like having to deal with a person like that, extremely fucking bad faith person, that basically badmouth people and try to ruin the reputation of someone for no fucking reason. You know, it's fucking horrible. It's fucking disgusting. So yeah, I got fucking triggered by that, but it's cool. It's not the end of the world either. Oh no, I want to talk about other shit. Oh no, I'm mostly curious about your own experience about leftists. By the way, if one of you want to talk on stream about a given subject on Discord, like just hop on Discord and we can do that. I would love to talk to one of you about a given subject, whatever the subject, by the way. Oh yeah, fuck me, I want to talk about something. So basically, on the voice posting group, I posted something about animal ethics because it's my background. This is not something I just talk about lightly. And basically, I want to talk creativity, but I don't like that term because it's not very technical. And I'm not pro bestiality. Don't worry. Although when it comes to cetacean and whatnot, it's different because sapiens and whatnot, it has much to do with relations of power. But obviously, I'm like people. There are people advocating out there to fuck their dog. I'm not one of those people. Don't worry. I'm a furry, but I don't advocate for people that. And believe me, I talk with like bona fide people that advocate for bestiality with dogs and shit, and it triggers the fuck out of me. And what I said basically is most of the time, what I observe is that a lot of people, when they want to argue against bestiality, by the way, this is not some like a destiny, like a big brain thing. This is not some omniberal shit. For me, this is important because in my specific work of animal ethics, the problem of like the way we treat animals and we interact with them is on the problem of like love, interaction, and consent is extremely fucking important. So basically, one of like the normie argument is to say, yeah, so we shouldn't like have sex with dogs, blah blah, because they can't consent. Obviously, they consent yes to a proposition. The problem with that argument, and as I said in the group, is sure, but if you do that, you need necessarily to go into a broader critique of the totality of relationship with animals, because the near totality of relationship with animals are factually not based on consent, because they're not. I mean, factory farming, the fact that they're, you know, creatures that we own, that we make them travel from a place to another without them asking for it, on invasive medical procedure, castration, etc. By the way, I'm not doing this in a loaded way. I'm not saying that as a way to condemn those practices. I'm just stating a fact. Most of our relationships are not based on consent. You know, like, I don't know, I have a friend who lately had to put like a fucking suppository in the ass of her dog, a dog, sorry, no cat. So he had to put on the cat, obviously struggled, on like, you know, like fuck, how do you say when you have like the clothed her? Yeah. So, sorry, I need to interrupt. Sorry, I need to interrupt. Oh yeah, sorry. So yeah, like most of the relationships are not based on consent. I mean, factually they're not. So if we want, and I'm critical of zoophilia or not, if we want to criticize zoophilia, we need a better like moral framework, which is no, I'm not saying that we should totally abandon notion of consent, but we should create one where the difference between non-consenting practices, which are understood as useful or justified, are distinguished from the ones that are not. And you can argue easily that for zoophilia is not like some galaxy brain shit. I mean, yeah, because fucking an animal is not necessarily only creates pain, and then there's like the problem of like power imbalance and shit. Like you can easily argue against bestiality. This is not hard. But the problem, the key problem is that the notion of consent as used in narrativism especially is not enough and cannot be taken lightly or naively. We need to deepen it and have a more refined understanding of it. People got ape shit. Like, not all of them, like half of the people that responded to the got fucking ape shit. Like, oh my god, that was, I deleted that. I kind of regretted having deleted it because I own everything I say, okay? But I deleted it basically because it gives me anxiety and I don't like, being gangsters or shit. But like they got ape shit for two reasons. So there was two little factions of people. One of them said, oh, you're advocating for like bestiality. Like, I literally say that I was against it. So, no, I'm not advocating for bestiality. That makes no fucking sense. You have to be extremely charitable to what I have to say to interpret the point in that way. Like, obviously. So, it's not because I say I wasn't, because they probably interpreted it as, oh, anyway, none of the relationships are based on consent, so I can film my dog. No, the problem is there. Like, no, I explicitly saying that there are relations of power on that we're going against the will. Like, people that advocate for zoophilia are not saying, oh, I can fuck any animal because who cares about the will of the animal? On the contrary, they try to say, oh, but they really wanted it, but they displayed behaviorally forms of wanting it, blah, blah. They try to make a distinction between rape on like forms of like what they understood as a form of like consented like sexual relation with them, which is basically the same arguments that are used by people of the Nambla and stuff, you know, like on the pedo stuff, etc., which again are not valid, but they're not valid because they ignore problems that have to do with power relations and whatnot. For me, the notion of power relation is extremely fucking important. This is way more, it's not that consent is not important, but you cannot really properly understand the problem of consent without talking about the problem of power relation, basically. That's my take, which is not a big fucking take. Feminists talk about this since like fucking 50 years. This is not this is a cold take. So, and then there are like other people that got ape shit that were like some naive, the dodo kind of dog owners. By the way, I had a dog for 15 years. I had to put down my dog or whatnot. I'm extremely well aware of the reality of having a pet. Okay? So, and those people got ape shit because basically in my post, I wish I had saved them because I know I'm right. I wasn't like going into some weird ass hardcore vegan shit, which I never, because I have a strong dislike of like hysterical hardcore vegan discourse that basically call meat eaters like barbarian slavers or whatever the fuck. I hate that fucking discourse. Hold on a minute, I'm just... Okay, so... They got apeshit because basically I mentioned a bunch of practices when I said, oh, there is a breach of consent. And I say, well, for instance, we have factory farming, but even we have like captivity zoos and whatnot, but even very mundane stuff like, well, the fact that when we have pets, we have like to displace them in a place or another or do specific medical procedures like castration or whatnot, or in a very mundane stuff like, I don't know, like a piqûre, like whatever, you know, like, which is the truth, like, this is clinically the truth, like, I'm sorry. And I wasn't like making any form of moral condemnation, which would be stupid, by the way, because, I mean, my God, look at most of our practices when it comes to ecology. In order to save entire species, we have to do, I'm sorry to use the term, but this is clearly true, we have to do sometimes forms of animal genocides. In the sense that, for instance, stoats in New Zealand, we have to millions of stoats, rats, mice, cats, in order to save species that otherwise would be extinct if we didn't do that. And it's not the fault of the cat or the mice or the stoats. They were introduced here deliberately by humans that fucked with the ecosystem. And because of that, entire birds, lizard species, blah, blah, disappeared. And it's extremely fucking sad. So we have to, there is a dilemma, if a current level of technology, which were we forced to destroy the stoats in order to save the fucking birds. And it's extremely fucking sad. There is sentient, sensible species. Those destructions have consequences from an ethical point of view, but we're forced to do that trade. Am I saying that we should like, oh, not do anything because otherwise it will go against the stoats? No. But it's an extremely sad situation. I wish there was an alternative, but like, And those people immediately jumped to what the conclusion, the extremely charitable conclusion was saying, oh, all relation of humans are the fucking same. And like it's like triggered. I think there was a comment on meat eating, but that's this is something which is not very surprising because a lot of people get triggered. I understand why, but a lot of people get triggered over extremely mundane stuff, which is said by vegans, which isn't like the biggest fucking like stuff in the entire universe. Extremely like mundane known stuff about how factory farming function, and they see it as a way of like making people ashamed. By the way, I hate the strategy. I will talk this next stream. That consists in shaming meat eaters. Still eat meat. Very open about this. This has to do with my culture, Argentina, blah blah, on my own relationship to health. Basically, I want to become vegan, but I want to transition slowly toward veganism in the near future without like impacting my health. And I'm like, try to experiment to see if it won't like positively impact my health. By the way, I want to experiment with B12 on all the fucking synthetic stuff and whatnot. But this is in the long term, and I want to do this with other people that want to become vegan. I don't want to just become vegan alone. I want to do it with like friends and whatnot. So. But the thing is, I hate like the moral aspect of veganism. This is something I absolutely, when it's done not in an intelligent way, because they're extremely intelligent anti-speciesist vegans like my friend Yves Bonardel, but like some of them are extremely fucking dumb, and I don't like them. And I'm not in the mainstream vegan movement. I'm extremely out of it. I'm in my own fucking niche. I am not. Most of my friends are not in the vegan. I already the anti-activity activism by itself is extremely specialized. It gravitates toward veganism, but it's not totally scribed in veganism. Whatever. It's not important. I don't give a fuck of fucking veganism. I talk about this because of activist praxis, but really like, I'm sorry if it triggers people because I know that what I say tends to triggers like hardcore vegans that see it as a personal attack, but whatever. So this, and then again, like people that didn't realize that I wasn't talking about individual a relation between individuals and their pets. I was talking about overarching structural problems. Okay, so I don't give a fuck. Okay, I'm sorry, I will be extremely fucking blunt. I don't give a fuck about your personal relationship with your dog or cat or rat or domesticated fucking lizard. I don't care. I don't care. I want to analyze problems from an overarching structural point of view. I don't give a fuck about your stupid defunct pug, okay? So they were idiots. I'm sorry, not idiot, because some of them, I respect them and I know them personally on the group, or sometimes they say good stuff. But they started to put some stupid soccer like this kind of strategy I see typically in Karens, like 45 years old Karens, that I really didn't expect it from like politicized leftoid. They started to use this emotional steering stuff. Like they showed a photograph of their stupid dog saying, oh look, this is my pet, I have such like a strong bond with my pet died 15 days ago of like ass cancer, I had to put them down on you evil piece of shit. You saying is the same thing that fucking your dog in the ass. When anyone that had read in good faith my post knows it's like an extremely charitable interpretation of what I had to say, you know. And then this, by the way, the same person that did that also said that I was trying to like use an emotional discourse to try to steer people toward veganism and whatnot, which I absolutely didn't do. Because if you read my post, I was extremely cold analytical. I was extremely fucking trying to show this in the most fucking non-emotional way, which is typically the way I post. Because anyone that knows how I talk about animal problems know that I absolutely fucking hate the instrumentalized use of emotion and manipulation of the crowd through emotion. This is one of the things that triggers the fuck out of me the most among like mainstream animal pro-animal activism. So that was my main criticism against Godfrey Marino, blah blah. So like whatever. So there was another person that did the same, like use, oh, I had to put down my fucking dog. Like, I don't give a fuck, man. I did the same. I had an extremely functional relationship to my dog. I had him for 15 years, from my childhood to my late 20s. Like, no, I know those very intimately what it means to have a dog and what not, to have a functional relationship to your pet. So fuck you. So, like, but no, the problem is those people. I'm sorry, obviously, you can have a very horizontal relationship to your dog, but our societies understood your dog, my dog, tens of thousands of dogs in shelters, blah blah, as de facto commodities. They understand them as commodities. This is also why I absolutely hate the pro-sanctuary discourse, because it totally ignores that. Animals today are commodities. They are understood as objects, goods, under a relationship of commodification that can be traded as good or consumed as good. This is the case. From your fucking rat with the big balls that you put the fucking photograph on the rat appreciation groups, to the thousands of millions of animals we use for factory farming, the meat industry, the cosmetic industry, the for, you know, like for the la fourrure, the fur industry, whatever the fuck. It's obviously, it's not the same. I'm not saying that you having a functional relationship to your pet is the same as fucking your dog. I would be an idiot if I say that. I'm saying that the structural causes behind, the structural frame behind the relationship to animals is basically commodification. You have to be an idiot not to realize this. This is like, I'm sorry, do you think, for instance, that a racist microaggression of some stupid, vaguely racist depiction in popular culture is the same that lynching a black person? No. Or like someone catcalling is the same than raping a woman. Sorry to use, I'm sorry if you trigger, by the way, yeah, trigger warning, sorry, I will talk about those subjects. Obviously they're not. But like, they can be traced from a common frame of reference, a common culture that generates or encourages or produces certain practices. This is why we have patriarchy in feminism. This is why we talk about systemic fucking racism. Well, when it comes to understanding of non-humans, it's the fucking same. We live in a capitalistic societies where they understood as goods or commodities. You can have the most innocent relationship. They do not escape the relationship of commodity. They don't. They actually don't. So that was my main point. Idiots online saw it as, I don't know, some kind of justification about whatever. Now, I really don't care, because I know I'm right on this, because every piece of data out there shows that I'm right. Anyone that has read my post knows that this is what I meant. Especially because, again, I'm fucking autistic, so when I post, I am the least fucking ambiguous possible, because I do not want to be misinterpreted in what I say. Okay? I trained myself to do this for more than 10 years. Okay? That's my job as both an activist and a future academic. Okay, whatever. This is basically my hot take, okay, about this whole fucking situation. I don't know, I may repost it in my fucking, the other fucking group. I don't care. I know I'm right, so. I'm going to continue. I don't know if I'll talk. I think I'll just. Sorry, it just, I'm silent because, okay, so the other thing I wanted to talk about, yeah, okay, you know what, fuck that, I wanted to continue to play, but I wanted to talk a bit about activist praxis. No, I'm not going to spill my guts, 100%, I'm still very, sorry, I'm extremely fucking anxious about tomorrow, extremely fucking anxious, extremely fucking difficult for me to, okay, so, I need to. So, praxis for me is. I'll talk about something else I've seen in the Voice group. So, I know this is not related to animals, whatever, I don't care. So, you know, the point, the people that hate Vosh, one of the reasons they hate him, which I understand, by the way, like I talked to a lot of people with VDS. I want to be able to talk with people with VDS because, again, he's not perfect. I'm not like sucking his dick all the time. I have disagreement, but I think his core work of trying to sway people in the right, so in the left, what a lapsus, in the left is extremely fucking important from only from a principle point of view. This is why I will always argue for trying to convince people. And there was some vid someone posted. Okay, let me show you the fucking vid. Let me show you the fucking vid. It was a TikTok. I fucking hate TikTok. This fucking Zoomer stuff. Yeah, you know what? I'm racist of Zoomers. Okay, okay. Fuck their culture based entirely around Fortnite on billion. No, I'm joking. I love fucking Zoomers. Okay, Zoomers are valid. Okay, I'm just a bit jealous because Zoomers on average in our generation, especially in the West, are more open to or accepting the queerness on being non-binary. On I had to realize this when I was very, late in my own development. When when I was a teenager, they didn't talk about being non-binary and shit or whatever. Where is? Because I've seen people arguing in favor of that, and I want to talk about this. Yeah, this is relevant to what I do because activist praxis is extremely fucking relevant. Oh, fuck, I'm really sorry. I'm just scrolling like a mofo because I really want to show you that. It's a fucking TikTok. Sorry, I just saw a funny meme. Fuck. Oh shit, I never find. No, sorry. Shit, okay. Wait. This fucking triggers the fuck out of me. I fucking hate that. By the way, I don't care. I don't have Twitter, so you can cancel me, okay? That's the ultimate fucking strategy, okay? Okay. Oh shit. I'm really sorry. Just my computer is not old as fuck, but kind of slow lately. I don't know if it's because of me messing up with the mods. I think I need to buy new RAMs and shit. I'm not sure yet. Oh, it's not a just extra bad idea to get them to be like kind of like above ground. It's not a bad idea, though it was ugly at first, but it's a shame this has this square. Shit, I can't find it. Oh my god. I'm really sorry. I need to find the TikTok. I fucking hate that app so much. No. Oh my god, I can't find the fucking TikTok. What the fuck? Come on, where is the TikTok? Come on. Where is the TikTok? Oh, it's here. Oh my god, this triggers the fuck out of me. Okay, so that 69, that nice. That was the fucking message, okay? Okay, so that's it. I don't know who this person is. I don't care. I'm not in fucking TikTok culture. Okay, I'm 28. Okay, I'm nearly 30. I'm not into this shit.
You can't start off by calling people colonizer.
Yes, you can. Since you refer to your background in psychology as you try to undermine a black woman who came
Oh yeah, maybe the fucking fat man covered this. I don't care. Okay.
lands. I'm just going to tell you that I went to Harvard twice. All my degrees are from Ivy League, and I specifically studied how to lead effective social movements so they can lead to concrete policy.
Okay. So
Results. Normalizing the word colonizer is effective. Not only is the term accurate, but it's also keeping somebody like you out. Away from the table lands and his people are building. All effective and sustainable social movements are built with a fortress that effectively keep away dangerous adversaries. The best kind of fortress is the one that lets dangerous adversaries reveal themselves, just like how you have been telling on yourself. That's a necessary and effective social movement strategy. So from the social movement efficacy perspective, Lance's strategy is quite effective. So when I hear you say stuff like you can't call people colonizer, you're not commenting on his effectiveness. You're saying he does not have permission to do that. Your permission to do that, which is a colonizer mindset. Your seat at the table that...
Oh yeah. That's interesting because the problem of like you don't get to, as in you don't have permission to do that, is something I literally see all the fucking time in the woke left. Like all the fucking time. Oh, you don't get to use that term. Oh, you like obviously I won't use the N word, but you know what I mean. The things that are extremely minute or extremely subtle, which are subject to debate or whatnot. You don't get to do that association. You don't get to like. Come on, man.
Lands and his people are building is not automatically given. It is earned through your consistent commitment to respect and center them. So try earning it or go home.
Okay, so I don't know who this person is, I don't care. I loathe that vid for so many reasons. And I don't understand how there are people in our group which apparently stand for this. So, here's the thing. What is meant here by fucking colonizer? Because obviously, in the United States, and by extension in Canada, Argentina, Australia, or most of this area which were populated through settled colonialism, yes, not only those countries were colonized in the sense that they were settled massively by a certain number of civilizations through a racialized lens, with most of the original people being depopulated and destroyed and exploited and whatnot, with everything we know. And not only that, but we're still living the struggle of the consequences of that, and it is arguable that there is still an ongoing process of colonization that is not finished, or at least that you can argue that, you know, the people that are still struggling to decolonize. Oh shit. Sorry. Sorry, I say sorry to the creators. Wait, what? They can't access that? Wait, maybe. Okay, whatever. Not only that, right? But yeah, so this, and in that clinical sense, yeah, everyone living in the United States with is not strictly of indigenous descent is a colonizer. The problem is that this is not how the term is used. It's not used like that colloquially, or it is not used like that by most activists, okay? When activists use most of the time, it's not in some kind of like academic cold way, okay? It is used in a very specific way, which is as a derogatory term to dismiss people. You say something on Twitter, they will tell you, shut up, colonizer, okay? That's pretty much it. If you have any knowledge of like Twitter and how all this fucking mess works, you know that I'm fucking right. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's like fucking gammon. It's like, even I'm going to say something which, as a non-binary person, it hurts. But yeah, it's true. But turf is sometimes used as a fucking slur. Like, obviously, when fucking like Karens go and say turf is Karen as well. Karen is used colloquially a lot as a slur. No, doesn't mean that it shouldn't be used. I don't think so. I use Karen. I use turf. I don't care. You know, I think it's effective to use them. But yeah, sometimes you can use a fucking slur. Gammon can be used as a slur, yeah. But on Gammon, it's funny as fuck. I don't care. You know, it's funny as fuck. Like, I'm sorry. It's like, it's objectively fucking funny. So the thing is, okay, I'm sorry because I want him not to die. It seems like he's dying for some fucking reason. I don't understand why he isn't feeding in the fucking. Why isn't he feeding? Why aren't you eating? Why? What's going on, motherfucker? Why aren't you eating? This is probably a hitbox thingy, but yeah, he is because he's going in the direction of the feeder. No. What? It seems to be like maybe if there are too many items, it doesn't recognize properly the feeder or some shit like that. It could be that, but I'm not entirely sure. But I wonder if it isn't like, if it's not a hitbox thing, if it isn't like a item density thing. Oh, for fuck's sake. Why is he ignoring the... What the fuck is going on? What? Whatever. So, yeah. So colonizer, yeah, clinical cell, blah, blah. The problem is, okay, one, it is de facto used as a form of like dismissive way to like mock certain people in social networks for good or bad reasons. And secondly, and most importantly, colonizer in our colloquial term isn't understood as like the daily reality of most Americans or Australian or whatever. Because yeah, in the rural world, there is still like a frontier aspect. You have struggles by local indigenous people for land back. They're fighting against extremely specific forms of land take. They want to advocate for specific ways of tending the land, of managing specific animal herds and whatnot. It's very fucking concrete. They're still victim of systemic discrimination, being shot at, like, especially in Canada, where you have like the, you know, like those feminicides of indigenous women and whatnot. So yeah, this is pretty much real in part of the world. But in the most of the urban world, in the United States and whatnot, it's very similar to the European experience. They're living this like a colonial reality. They're not. Most people in the, I don't know, in Flint, Michigan or whatever, are thinking themselves as colonists. They're not. In fact, they understood themselves as living into something, I'll blur that later, as something that looks a lot like what is described as the end of history narrative of Fukuyama, which will be sorry, wait, what did I, oh shit, you know, the enclosure, which will be like, oh, the colonial process is over, we don't live in the frontier times, no, we have a genuine country which is consolidated from a structural point of view and whatnot. You know, so, and that's